Ryan Holiday, his book, The Obstacle is a Way, he has a marketing background. And so often when we're faced with challenges and obstacles, so many people go, why me? Why me? When the question really should be, hey, why not me? Why not me? I have a muscle that needs to be built. I have a callus that needs to be built. And so obstacles, Holiday says, don't inhibit our success, but they define our success. They create our success. And how we choose to respond versus react, how we choose to respond to the obstacle is what defines us. And in my direct experience, I know that from here to the other side of the obstacle, do I smash through it? Do I dig under it? Do I have to jump over it? Do I run around it? Because from here to the other side of the obstacle, for example, in business life, we've got to put in new systems. We've got to listen to new voices. We have to learn new concepts. In life, we have to become a new person. We have to meet new people. And so this obstacle here has allowed us to experience all of that. So from here to the other side of the obstacle is our pot of gold. And so whatever challenge, whatever adversity comes our way, the obstacle is the way. When we're in the moment, we can be hijacked by whatever emotion it is. But then to actually remove ourselves and look back and say, did that help anyone? Did that actually have a positive outcome? Did I show up as the next best version of myself? Was that cool? And then when you have the answers for that, you deliberately then choose to pause, think intelligently, and choose to respond. Choose how you're going to show up. How are you going to show up in the face of your lover? How are you going to show up in the face of your boss? How are you going to show up in the face of your children? And so then you choose to show up. And it's a wonderful question then about personal brand, right? Okay, stop, think intelligently, pause. And when we can do that, whether it be through the practice of meditation or mind training or breath work, but it first starts with awareness going, hey, was that a cool thing to do or not? And then when we choose, what happens is we choose a state of calm courage. We choose a state of inner power. We choose a state of abundance. And then when we get to choose, we think intelligently, then we can tap into the problem-solving traits of innovation, collaboration, cooperation, imagination, creation. And then we're not becoming stupid. Stress makes us stupid. We choose to think more intelligently. And when we can go through the emotions and understand which emotions will serve us and which don't serve us, then we can access more of the other 90% of our mental, emotional, physical capabilities to solve the problem. And so in my book, The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur, it's all backed by science, right? Science is the new language of mysticism. Science is what bridges the cultures and bridges our differences. And so when I say a lot of these things, it is backed by science, right? So it's not woo, it's not voodoo, it's science and spirituality. So spirituality is really physics that hasn't been explained yet, right? And so gratitude, scientifically measured with EEG machines, with heart wave machines. So when you practice a state of gratitude, it means that the event has already happened. And so the more we practice gratitude, whether it be in our meditation, our mind training, we are in a state of receivership because the event has already happened. And imagine going through your life in a state of gratitude and counting your blessings rather than being in a state of anger, anxiety, overwhelm, stress. We all get to choose which emotion served me and which didn't. And so they've measured that when you're in a state of gratitude and you live in a state of receivership, and whatever you think becomes a reality, so you become a badass manifester, right? But what happens when it's been measured is if you practice the elevated emotion of forgiveness, the heart rate changes, the brain wave changes, the thought that sends a signal out changes, the emotion that brings the event back to you changes. And so forgiveness was even a more powerful emotional trait than gratitude if you want to become a badass manifester. Doesn't life have beautiful, isn't it poetic?
It's awesome.
What, you mean I can make shit happen by if I go in a state of gratitude and forgiveness? Yes, it is scientifically proven. Conflict in the workplace, I find anything that is conflicting, anything that is a complaint or a bit of feedback, I see that as gold. I see that as an opportunity to improve, inform ourselves better, to encourage and find new ways to do things. That's the purpose of why we're here, to find new ways, to sort it out, to find the meaning behind it. And if we understand the laws of the universe, we understand that there can never, ever, ever be 100% peace. 100% calm. It works on a 50-50. And so, for example, when I was asked earlier, do I ever get nervous when I go on stage? I don't get nervous because I know that in 50% of the audience are going to love me. The other 50 are going to go, what was that all about? And so when I already know that, it doesn't bother me. Because that is the law. There will always be a 50-50. And so in a workplace, when there is conflict, so of course there's conflict. When your staff members tell you that we're all happy, it's not true, because the law is that it's got to be 50-50. And so we can reframe that and see that as, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, it's going to all go terrible. Or we can say, that is the law. How now can I use that as data? How now can I use that as feedback? How now can I use it as a tool to implement these new systems, these new voices, these new concepts to make things better than before?